Emmanuel Macron has marked the bicentenary of the death of Napoleon Bonaparte, France's best-known military leader and one of the founders of the modern republic. The president laid a wreath at Napoleon's tomb. But in 21st century France, Napoleon is a divisive figure. Mr. Macron acknowledged a darker side in the legacy. Lucy Williamson has been looking at how Napoleon is remembered.
How do you commemorate an emperor in the 21st century? A man who threatened much of Europe and reversed a ban on slavery, but also laid the foundations of the modern French state.
I tried to make him as I think he was, very tormented, internal, never satisfied, always looking for power and a place in history. I didn't want to make him a conqueror, but rather someone very lonely, who died alone.
This new statue of Napoleon is destined for the town of Montauban, near Toulouse, made a regional capital by the emperor in 1808. But is he still a hero here?
I don't understand why we're now putting up statues of Napoleon when we've had such a fuss about removing statues of men because of their racist past. Napoleon reinstated slavery, so I think it's bizarre.
I think it's a great idea. Even with his shortcomings, he was still a great man, whether we like it or not.
Montauban City Council was also initially divided over the statue.
As with any historical figure, some spots are darker than others. But of course, if you take just one element, it's very easy to condemn anyone. Today, we're in a dictatorship of the politically correct, and I'm among those who want to fight it.
Napoleon was a man who knew the power of public image. At his former home outside Paris, they're preparing for a new exhibition looking at his many different faces. This room tells the story of Napoleon's careful creation of his image, from busts in the style of Roman emperors to this painting which shows him leading an army across the Alps, reimagined to replace the mule he was actually travelling on with a magnificent horse. Napoleon reportedly loved this painting so much he ordered several copies of it to use as propaganda. 200 years on, the story of France's past is more balanced, more controversial. But President Macron today said that history should not be made to bear the burden of modern debates.
Napoleon Bonaparte is a part of us. He is a part of us because saying his name continues to strike 1,000 chords of imagination everywhere.
Napoleon Bonaparte est une part de nous.
Napoleon Bonaparte is part of us because the actions and lessons of the warrior, the strategist, the legislator as well as the builder, still carry into our century.
His decision to lay a wreath at the emperor's tomb today won't have pleased everyone. But as this resting place so clearly shows, Napoleon's relationship to France was always complex. A man who died in exile after the shame of military defeat, laid to rest in honour under a golden dome. Lucy Williamson, BBC News, Paris.